Herinnert u zich nog Carlos Mota Ribas in 1998 en 1999? Derde werd hij in de derby van Eindhoven met Mumu in 98. En een jaar later won hij met die legendarische bonte pony de derby van Eindhoven. Nou, wij zochten Mumu weer eens een keer op. Hij is nu 33 jaar, nog altijd fit, nog altijd in goede gezondheid. En Carlos Ribas is nog altijd even gepassioneerd over dit paard dat hij vorig jaar meebracht naar CC Eindhoven om daar in de parade te tonen als 32-jarig paard. En nu legt hij nog eens uit hoe speciaal Mumu altijd voor hem is geweest en hoe Mumu hem heeft geholpen om zijn carrière op te bouwen.
He has never been such a social horse, you know. Yeah. Like you go to Relax, to Ronaldo, to that, they like to be there. He was never such a social. He was like always had. He was very clever, but never like he wanted to give himself to you. Yeah. He's like this.
Can you tell a little bit what has Mumu meant for you and what is still meaning for you today?
Yeah, this started a long time ago, like 1994. Let's go like 24 years ago, and I was riding in Brazil in São Paulo, and a friend of mine. He had brought his horse from Rio to São Paulo, and then the horse was jumping very well with the guy. He invited me to buy half the horse with him. But that was a horse he was pulling a cart in a slum in Rio de Janeiro, in a favela da Rocinha. So he had all the ingredients to be against a jumping horse, but he was a very good jumper. So that time the girl that had bought him from Rio to São Paulo, she was quit riding, and so he invited to buy the horse, half share with him. I knew the horse was jumping very well, but even myself, I didn't believe in him. So he said he was a very good horseman, this friend of mine. So he said, let's do it half, let's buy the horse together, and one day you're going to be surprised. So I did it with the condition that he would be the rider, and I would be only the investor. So a few months later, the time I was a young rider, and the Brazilian Young Riders Championship was coming closer, and I had two horses, and both of them, they were lame. So he said, so I have to try to ride Mumu. So I sat on him, and from the first moment, I fell in love. He was an amazing horse, such a nice ride and everything. He's a very small horse, 154 high. But when you sit on him, he didn't feel small. So then I fell in love. From the first time we went Brazilian champion, and then everything started. And then our career just took off.
Yeah, and when did you know that he was such a specialist and such an expert in jumping derbies?
He was always in Brazil. We had like two derbies during the year. One in Rio de Janeiro, one in São Paulo, and then from the first moment he was getting right from the first time. You know, he didn't need to practice. He was very brave. He was doing banks and natural fences. He was never afraid from anything. And then when I came into Europe in 1997, I tried to get inside to the Concurso Peak in Eindhoven. So I was unknown here. Nobody knew who I was, and the organization, they didn't accept me. So that time I carry on 97, and then in the end of the year I was invited to do the CSW from Geneva, and I did the indoor derby there, and I was second. So 1 year later, 98, I had a friend called Neil Jones. He's a horse dealer here based in Belgium, and he knew the organizer from the Concurso Peak in Eindhoven. He said, why not bring this horse? He's a Pinto, he's a shoeboarding, could be a very nice attraction for the crowd. So they got me into the show, 98. And then we went to there, but I knew he was able to do it because he was never spoken to anything, to any natural fence. And then we went there, and we went up third. Was that the year when his girls broke in the jump off in the Devil's Dyke. And so I knew he could do it. It was already a tough course and everything, but I knew he was so well, he was trusting me so much. And then it was just like a happy end story. And then 1 year later we came back again, and then we won. And that was like a happy end.
What does that say about the character of the personality of Mumu?
It's like a horse, like he could build like a wall full of fire. I'm sure he's gonna jump through it. The horse, I never saw anything who could make him doubt, like he could not do it. So that's one thing that I had to learn, and to be a horseman enough to respect the horse, and to know that he's a horse, like he was not an Olympic horse to do those kind of tracks. But if I had no respect about him, I would have put him in that classes. He would have jumped, but I would have breaking his brain, you know. He could go through anything. It just was the job of the rider to judge if he was able to do that or not, because he would do it anyway, whatever you ask it to him.
And what is your greatest memory of him?
For sure, Derby of Eindhoven 98, 99. He also won Derby of Luma in 99. We went to Spruce Meadows also in 99. He was third in the Speed Derby there. He was second Grand Prix of Hakenburg. In Brazil, he was silver medal in the silver whip, like in our World Cup league there. I was Brazilian young rider champion.
Yeah, so you really made your career as a professional rider.
It was a very good start, was a very good shortcut. I think because I was determined to do it. I immigrated from Brazil to Europe, like we all different, a different culture, but we love horse riding, we love the sport. I think if I hadn't had Mumu, my start would have been different.
And last year you took him as a 32-year-old to Eindhoven again. You took him in the parade. When did that idea come up to you?
Was because like also last year I won a Le Mans Derby for the second time. I won with him 99, the year that I had won also Eindhoven Derby. And the last year I won Le Mans Derby again with Ronaldo. And Ronaldo was very fit. Shame this year he was injured just like 3 weeks before Eindhoven Derby. So this year I'm taking a younger horse. And then I spoke with the organization, said I won Le Mans Derby 99 and 2014, 15 years difference. Why don't we do something like it? They also want to do something different. We bring him back to the crowd because all the people from Eindhoven, the old-fashioned people, like the real horse people, they like to follow the show. They know the horse. Let's do something like this. And if I win again, Eindhoven with Ronaldo, then we can do both derbies 15 years.
Well, Carlos, can you describe Mumu in 3 words?
He's a fighter, he's a best friend, and he's just like a good white. He would never say no. Bye-bye.